Okay, so you're a local service-based business owner who also operates your business, so owner-operator. Let's talk about your sales workflow. Let's talk about your marketing and how you could be easily 10xing your sales if you have the right systems in place. So if you're an owner-operator of any service-based business, whether it's in the construction industry, home improvement industry, a nail salon, a massage practice, a yoga studio, where you are owner-operator and you are doing all of the jobs yourself, meaning you're a solo person, or maybe you have 1 or 2 employees who help you. If you wear a lot of hats in your business, I can almost guarantee that you are dropping the balls on your sales effort as well as your marketing effort. And it's nothing against you. It's nothing against solo entrepreneur, owner operator types. It's just a matter of, how much time do you have in a day to actually get done the things that you need to get done to deliver your services, where you're not focused on creating new sales or chasing new sales or doing any sort of marketing that will generate new sales. The first thing you have to realize is that when people are searching for local businesses, they're looking for something in their town, to get something done on their home, a nail salon, hair salon, yoga place, haircut, whatever it happens to be, right? They're almost always going to go to their phone, which is a very high percentage of searches. So 60% of search is done on a mobile phone now, but 93% of searching for service providers of any type in a local market is done online. So let's jump right into your sales process. Your sales is probably emails, phone calls, maybe text messages, and probably a contact form on your website if you have a website, and possibly social media. So if someone messages you on Instagram or Facebook, something like that, looking for your service, to inquire about you doing work for them. And so that's what's called incoming sales leads. Now you've got outgoing, which means your response back to them, whether it's they emailed you, you need to email them back, or they emailed you and you need to call them back, or they called, left a message, you didn't get the call, you were working, obviously, or doing something and you missed the call, you need to call them back. Text messages are the same way. Social media is the same way. It's all your outgoing effort to respond to those incoming leads. And so what I see the biggest mistake small business owners make of any type, and when I say small business owners, I mean anyone doing up to about $10 million a year in business. So from just starting out to up to about $10 million a year, you're really considered a small business. But it doesn't mean that you have ample time to do anything you want if you're at the upper end of that threshold. You could be doing those figures and be a one-man show. You're probably very tired and burnt out, but you could be doing that. So the biggest mistake I see people make in that scenario is that they are slow to get back to incoming leads. And a lead is just someone who has reached out to you about your services, no matter which channel they chose to use to get to you. So whether they called you, emailed you, text, social media, that gap of time, especially if they are using Google Maps for searching and they're looking for, any service-based business. So let's take HVAC, for instance. If it were I, and I'll show you in just a moment, I'm going to share my screen and show that to you. Looking for HVAC, I'm going to go to Google Maps. I'm going to search for HVAC in my town. And then it's going to give me the results of people who have a Google business listing and are listed on Google Maps. And I'm going to start at the top and read the reviews, probably look at review numbers. And I'm going to start calling because I want to talk to someone about what my issue is and how quickly can I get someone to respond and show up. If I call the first phone number that's in that list for the first business that shows up and no one answers the phone, I'm on to the second business. I call that number, no one answers, or I get an answering service or a voicemail, or someone who is a phone answerer, maybe it's their spouse, or, they have someone sitting at a desk answering the phone to just field the calls, and they can't talk to me about my issue. They need to take my information down so that I get a call back later at some point in time by the owner or whoever does, their actual sales calls. I'm gone again. I'll hang up and call the third person in line, and again until I get someone who is willing to talk to me immediately about my issue, or at least give me some sort of very definitive information about when they will talk to me so that I can create, in my mind, something that will solve my issue, solve my problem, no matter what it is. If I want a haircut, that's my issue, right? I need to have a haircut. So if I call a hair salon and I'm looking to set an appointment and no one answers the phone, guess what? I'm gone and I'm calling the next guy. So let me show you on my screen what that looks like. I'm going to give you an example of how most people search online for your type of business. So I'm here on Google search engine and I'm just going to type in HVAC in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's right there. Now, when in Google search results, you have what is called the map pack. And that is this right here. It always shows up first if you look for local businesses anyway in the search results. And you'll see it says businesses. Now, it shows the top 3 businesses that rank the highest for what my search is. This is where I start. And this is what most people do as well, because it gets you to the biggest list of service providers that you're looking for, but it also gives you their contact information without having to go to their website. This is a big one. Having a website is fantastic. It's a must-have. However, if you're in a hurry and you need to find someone quickly to solve your issue, it's unlikely that you're going to go and visit multiple websites in a row. This method is much faster when it comes to finding a service provider who's willing to talk to you in the moment. So I've got the top 3. Now I'm going to click on more businesses, and this is going to put us into the expanded places tab. You can see it right here. And it's basically everyone who is listed in Google business listings on maps. It gives you all of this stuff. So I would start at the top and I would call Comfort Pro LLC. Here's their phone number. Bang, start making phone calls. They've got, decent ratings. There's 4.5, 5 stars out of 175. That's actually fantastic. But they're sponsored too. You'll notice these top 2 are sponsored, so they're paying to be there. Below that, you'll get the organic listings, which means they just show up because they have a lot of ratings. They've paid attention to their Google My Business listing. They filled it out properly. They've probably been on Google My Business for quite some time. They have a website, obviously. What we really want to do is get into this mindset when it comes to thinking about how you collect your leads and what you do about leads that are trying to contact you. If you're a contractor of any type and you're out on a job site, there's so many scenarios where you won't be able to answer your phone if the number on this screen right here is your cell phone number, or the number on your website is your cell phone number, or the phone number on your social media profiles is your cell phone number. If you're with a client, if you operate machinery of any type, if you're on a ladder, if you're on a roof of a home, if you're driving and you're on another call with a different person, or you're looking for materials or whatever it happens to be, and you miss the phone call, that person who just called you is most likely already, before you can even look at if they left you a voicemail or not, which is rare. I'm sure you probably realize this, but very few people leave voicemails anymore because so many people don't check voicemails. They're already calling the next service provider. So how do you combat this as a one-man show, right? How do you combat this, not behavior, but how do you combat delivering your services? Because you have your delivery of services that you're doing for your existing clients while still trying to do sales for new clients, as well as the marketing if you're doing any of that at all. So the biggest thing that I see is that gap in time. And contractors, no offense, but you're the worst at getting back to people. You can call someone, especially in the building industry. I see this huge mistake: construction, building, remodeling, that type stuff. Lawn care, also landscaping. Is they're on machinery all day, they're on a job site all day, they don't return phone calls until that evening or even the next day or 2 or 3 days later possibly, or emails as well, because you're too busy delivering your services to be able to actually perform that function. If you are doing your online portion right, your online presence properly, meaning on the map pack here, you're showing up, you're getting a lot of leads, your website's generating leads for you, your social media is maybe generating leads for you as well. If you stopped in your delivery of services, meaning doing whatever your job is for your clients, every time your phone rang or every time you got an email, you'd never get anything done. Your clients may be wondering, this guy shows up at my house, but he talks on the phone the whole time and he doesn't do anything for me. And it took him all day to do something that should have taken 2 hours, right? So how do you combat that? How do you solve your issue? You've got someone reaching out to you to solve their issue, but how do you solve your issue of this is what I need to do in terms of operating my business, but also getting new sales for my business simultaneously? And we'll get to the marketing part next, but the sales part of it is by far the most important thing. You may be in any industry really, but if you are owner operator and you're responsible for closing your deals and your sales, you're a salesperson. You don't own a construction company. Well, you do, but your primary role is sales. If you are one-man show, or you're running a crew of guys, but you have no one doing this for you, is what I mean by that. So if you have no one doing sales for you and you have all of the leads coming to you, you are the bottleneck for leads. It's up to you to get back to those people in a timely manner. So how do you solve that issue? Well, number one is automation. It's far and away the biggest and best thing that you could do for your business to significantly increase your revenue, as well as decrease the amount of time it takes you to close new sales deals. And what do I mean by automation? That is sales processes automation. Using a CRM is exactly what you want to do. CRM just stands for Customer Relationship Management Tool. It's a tool, it's a software tool for you to be able to manage the leads coming in so that you can collect the data properly, but then you put automation with that so that you can automatically respond to them via email, via text message is kind of the most popular avenues, so that when you do have time to call them back, they have at least had some sort of personal attention coming from you. So if you were to, let's say, you're looking for an auto mechanic to fix one of your vehicles, personal work, it doesn't matter, and they don't answer the phone. Would it make you feel good if when you hit their voicemail or whatever it was, you're like, oh, they're not going to answer the phone. You hang up and you're doing the same thing everyone else is, as what I just explained. You are immediately on to calling the next mechanic in the list of search results on Google, right? If the first person you called texted you back within 30 seconds of you not reaching them and saying, hey, sorry, I missed your call. How can I help you? Would love to, talk and see what can we do for you? You are more likely to wait on that person to then actually call you back and get in touch with you to have a real conversation versus not having anything like that at all. If it's just a dead end on a phone call and you have to leave a message and then they don't get back to you for hours, you're gone. You've moved on. You're looking for someone to talk to, or at least talk to you to say, hey, we'll get back in touch with you in X hours or whatever it is. That is the biggest thing you can do for yourself and your company. Because here's a crazy statistic, and this is actually true. If someone's going down the path that I just explained, calling business after business to get someone to talk to them about their issue, doesn't matter what the business is, the first person who actually answers the phone in that list of calls and can talk to them in a way that at least gets them moving towards solving the issue, whether it's, let me have the owner call you if you have someone answering the phone for you, or if you are the owner and you answer the phone, you happen to catch the call and you answer the phone and you have even a short conversation with that person who has called you, the lead who has called you, you are 98% more likely to close the deal than if you didn't answer the phone, or you didn't respond to the text, or you didn't respond to the email. That statistic is it's mind-boggling to me. But then again, it's not, because I'm a consumer and we're all consumers. We all want personal attention and we want it quick. It's just become this expected thing that you get it and you get it now. It's the Amazon effect. You order it, it shows up on your door. Delivery of services, it doesn't need to take a second seat to it. But if you are the deliverer of the services and you are your salesperson and you are your marketing person, you need automation and you need it today. It will transform your business. And it doesn't matter how big you are. You don't need to be doing $10 million a year. That number, I didn't want to say that number earlier to scare anyone off, but I was just explaining small business. If you're just starting out and you're even doing 5 figures a year, doing $50,000, $60,000 a month or something, you need to consider, okay, well, how do I double that? How do I get to 100,000 a month? How do I get to 150,000 a month? Without some sort of help, you're not going to get there. If you hire someone, it's going to be thousands of dollars per month for you to hire that person. You're going to spend $2,000, $3,000 minimum just to answer the phone for you, probably respond to some emails, and they're likely to not have any sales experience or marketing experience where they could do anything significant for you to really help. Automation is so much less than that. 80% less than any number that you could hire someone, 10 times more effective because of AI now, and you can tie AI to automation. True automation requires AI so that it can make real-time decisions. But that part of it, it's a no-brainer for any small business can benefit from automation and a proper CRM system that manages all of their leads data, all of their sales data, their sales processes, their marketing processes, so email marketing especially, and then has a workflow capability built into it to be able to automate most of your work in terms of fielding leads to get to a place where you can increase your sales without diminishing your ability to deliver your services. For a one-man show, it doesn't matter. One person, if you have 10 employees, 50 employees, you probably have someone answering the phone for you if you have that many employees, and that's great, but how much of their day is consumed by doing that? If you have someone sitting on you have a chair filled with someone just to answer the phone, you're spending thousands of dollars on something that you could easily spend hundreds of dollars on or less and do just as an effective of a job, actually more effective. And the reason why is automation and AI, they never go home. They work every minute of every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, holidays included. Someone hits you at 8 o'clock at night with a phone call or an email because they're sitting on their couch watching Netflix and looking for a plumber or a haircut, whatever it is. You're not going to respond personally, most likely, because you're also at home with your family or you're out with friends or whatever you're doing. It's unlikely that you're going to respond until the next day. Automation coupled with AI will respond in 30 seconds and have a full conversation with them that is built for you, obviously, and trained on your data. But it will put it together for you where that person's getting personal attention no matter what time they reach out to you. Holidays, weekends, it doesn't matter. They're getting personal attention until you can get to them personally. And you're way more likely, 80, 90% more likely to close that deal because they are getting attention.